Recording in. Good morning, teacher. We are the group number 11, composed by Torres Mayra, Trujillo Ingrid, Valencia Karen, Vargas Fernanda, and myself, Villena Lida. Today we're going to talk about the English curriculum. Okay, next my partner, please.
I'm going to talk about the topic of the generalities of the English curriculum. First, let's emphasize the main objectives of the English as a foreign language curriculum, which are the following. The development of students' understanding of the world in terms of cultures in general on their own, and the ability to communicate their views through the foreign language is paramount. The next point is to create a love for language learning from an early age through positive learning experience in order to force students motivation to continue learning and to impact their mental development. Developing the personal, social, and intellectual skills is necessary to reach their potential and participate productively in a increasingly globalized world. Operating in other language is paramount. Let's remember that nowadays English is necessary to be able to communicate and access the labor market. At the same time, it opens the door to more experiences, for example, of a culture nature. And finally, to reach the exit profile proposed in the national curricula for EGB and VGU, we will talk about both later on. Next, my partner, please.
Context and language integrated learning. In the English as foreign language curriculums, context and language integrated learning serve as a method to facilitate English language learning in authentic context. This approach emphasizes using English for communication and comprehension within subject areas, rather than solely focusing on language structures. B. Integrate concepts from various subjects, learning engaged in meaningful tasks that promoted language acquisition, critical thinking, and subject knowledge. Context and language integrated learning not only incite language proficiency but also motivate learners by making language learning relevant and purposeful, ultimately enrich learning experience, equipping learning with essential language skills for effectivity, communication, and academic success. Next, my partner.
To apply the clear approach in the classroom, we can. First of all, choose topics relevant to the curriculum and, of course, of interest to our students. Encourage active student participation through collaborative activities. For example, it can be an oral presentation. Provide ongoing feedback on content and language used to help students improve both their understanding of the subject and their language skills. Consider the use of authentic materials in English, and that's it. Okay, now we got the CLIL, the critical thinking skills, and the curricular threats. CLIL is part of the 4 Cs, which are 1, culture, citizenship, 2, communication, 3, cognition, and 4, content. Now for those 4 Cs, we got the 5 curricular threats. The first one is communication and cultural awareness, with the sub-threats intercultural awareness and identity, and social competence and values. Now for the second curricular thread, oral communication, which in turn refers to the listening and speaking. We got the sub-threats, listening skills, spoken production, and spoken interaction. The third curricular thread is reading, with the sub-threads literacy-rich environment, reading comprehension, use of resources and study skills, and cross-curricular content. Now we got reading as our 4 curricular thread, with the sub-threads initial literacy and text production. And finally is the 5th curricular thread, language through the arts, which refers to which sub-threads are literacy text in context, creative thinking, and creative writing. Thank you. Next, my partner, please.
I'm going to talk about EGB. Basic general education goes from first to 10th grade. Its objective is to help children and adolescents develop their skills and competence from the age of 5 to 30 and last 10 years. And is divided into four sublevels: preparatory sublevel 1, which corresponds to the first grade of EGB and is preferably offered to students 5 years of age. Basic elementary to level 2, which corresponds to second, third, and fourth grades of EGB and is preferably offered to students 6 to 8, which corresponds to 5, 6, and 7 grades of EGB and is preferably offered to students between 9 and 11 years of age. Higher basic sublevel 4, which corresponds to 8, 9, and 10 grades of EGB and is preferably offered to students between 12 and 14 years of age. Finally, the curriculum for basic general education in Ecuador is divided into different areas of knowledge. This means that the students need to learn about several subjects to their grade. These subjects include language and literature, mathematics, natural science, social science, foreign language, physical education, and cultural artistic education.
The final, I am going to talk about the set characteristics about the BGU. The BGU focus on providing comprehensive training to the students, combining subjects for various areas of knowledge, such as natural science, social science, mathematics, language, and literature, among others. The goal is to provide the students with a more balanced and complete education that prepares them both to continue with higher education and to enter the world of work. This integrated approach seeks to develop the skills and competence in students to face the change of the 21st century. The other point is very important is the age. The age of the students is between the 14 and 18 years old. And the BGUs usually culminate in obtaining a bachelor degree, which qualifies a student to access higher school to enter the labor market, depending on their interests and professional objectives. Speaking about the title, there are two types. The first is the ordinary title. In this case, correspond to those who finish high school at the corresponding age. And while the extraordinary titles is for those who finish high school outside the age range. Regarding the theoretical part of the curriculum, for teaching the English language of the BGU, it meets to the expectation and requirements of today's society. Thank you for your attention.